Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. We're going to start with the big story, or what I think is the big story, and that is this. Stephanie McMahon has revealed that she is doing a new show that is going to be coming to ESPN Plus in March. It's called Stephanie's Places. Now, that to me sounds like a 1990s sitcom, something like Caroline in the City, but apparently it's based on a show that I think Peyton Manning did that was very similar, where basically she is going to go around the world and she's going to catch up with superstars, get their backstory. She's basically going to hear the stories behind the biggest stars in WWE. And look at this image right here. That is the Bloodline. That is the Bloodline. She went and caught up with the Bloodline. There's Steph. There's Roman. I believe that's Solo. Paul Heyman. Jay. Sammy. Jimmy. Tongaloa. Tamatonga. Jacob. So obviously we're just completely breaking kayfabe here. But that's the Bloodline and the OG Bloodline all together on a boat, on a yacht. Just having a great time, right? Family, all being together. Stephanie being there. How cool is that, though? There's a little... that's the shot a little bit further away. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this. I mean, they are just living the high life, right? This is what wrestlers get up to when they're not on TV. You can sort of understand why Roman's not around so much. Vincent's like, damn. So yeah, what we'll do, let's have a look at the trailer. I'm gonna take the sound off a little, right? But there's Steph with Stone Colds. There she is riding with someone. There she is with Charlotte. So there she is with Roman. That's on that boat. That's the closing shot. Look, is that like Miami maybe? I don't know. I think this is really interesting. I mean, I really want to watch it. Really interested. I think that we don't really get a chance to see Steph in front of a camera these days that much. So it'll be nice to see how she's doing. It'll be nice to see her getting out and shining a light on some positive aspects of WWE. Obviously, when you think about McMahon and the McMahon family, you don't really tend to think like the positive side of things so much. So this will be good. I'm excited for it. So there we go. That was announced today. Let's go WWE, shall we? I think I've got 2 WWE folders by the looks of it. We can blast through this. So Wrestle Night, shout out to you. Triple H is taking his rightful place in the Hall of Fame, and you can celebrate with this brand new Triple H shirt. That is nice. That is nice. That looks really cool. So I really like that. Here we've got Stephanie. Just talking about Stephanie, actually. Let's whoosh this over. She says, "You got me too, Shawn and Undertaker. It's my honor to witness your brotherhood. Thank you for making this executive decision because you know that Paul never would. Congratulations to my king, Triple H. You have more than earned your place in immortality. The WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. So there is Steph just talking about Triple H going into the Hall of Fame. And Carl, shout out to you. It looks like we're not going to get Dakota Kai around during the Rumble, right? So here, Caitlyn getting this message, right? Dakota Kai is no longer able to make it to the Royal Rumble 2025. Unfortunately, this means that your photo opportunity has been cancelled. So, unfortunately, this person wanted to meet Dakota, but that is not possible due to her injury. And so it looks like she's not going to be involved at the Royal Rumble. And they are now cancelling people's photo opportunities with her. So that feels like quite a big piece of news, to be honest. We do have a bit more. I've got another WWE folder here. So, James, shout out to you. This news coming through today. WWE 2K is going to come to mobile via Netflix Games this fall. So, there's not much in the way of detail. I'm guessing this is just going to be a real watered down version of the game, because obviously mobile can only handle so much. It's not got the power of a PS5, right? So I'm guessing it's going to be a really watered down version. I believe we have had like a 2K game on mobile before, but I've not seen one for a long time. But the fact it's not only coming to mobile, but it's going to be through Netflix Games. Does that mean if you've got a subscription, you'll be able to just play the game, in the words of Triple H? That's really interesting, really interesting. Not loads in the way of detail there, but something worth being aware of. But it's still a long way off. We're talking end of the year 2025. Right, WrestleBuzz, shout out to you. So these are the current odds for the Royal Rumble. So you can see Cody minus 4,000. He is the biggest favourite to retain or to win at the show. Amazingly, DIY are coming in at minus 500. I think that's a big shock, honestly. I really thought they would probably go Motor City Machine Guns, put them over on a massive stage. I still think there's a chance Motor City Machine Guns will be given that. But seems like the odds at the moment have got DIY, right? Here we've got Charlotte at minus 200, so she is the favourite. Then it's Bianca at plus 180. Then it's Io at plus 325. So Charlotte the favourite, and John Cena the favourite at minus 110. Then it's Seth at plus 175, and then it's CM Punk at plus 225. Becky has really fallen out of the odds for a long time. Becky was the firm favourite. I don't feel like there's been much movement with the men. John's been the favourite for a long time, but Becky was the favourite going back about a month ago, and now she doesn't even make the top 3. So that's where we are with the Royal Rumble odds at the moment. Christopher, shout out to you. Charlotte Flair's presentation has been decided on. It's going to feature her as being the top girl, playing into the Flair family legacy. Creative is heavily considering Charlotte winning gold sooner rather than later upon her return. So that is very interesting. That is coming courtesy of WrestleVotes. So WrestleVotes have reported this. So I think the key takeaway there is going to be sooner rather than later that Charlotte gets some gold around her waist. Right, this came in earlier today. Stephanie McMahon says there will be lots of surprises at the Royal Rumble. Lots of surprises that I don't even know about. And if I did, I wouldn't want to be allowed to say. I know some things, but not all things. Now, this has got people really excited, and understandably so. The only thing I would say is lots of surprises don't mean lots of big surprises. There's lots of different levels of surprises. For example, Jade Cargill coming back. That would be a surprise. They haven't announced that she's going to return there. Asuka coming back. That would be a surprise. They haven't announced she's going to return there. Joe Hendry being in. That would be a surprise. They haven't announced that he's going to be in the Rumble. Any NXT involvement would be surprises. They haven't announced that they're going to be in the Rumble. So I feel like when you think of surprises, your brain can automatically go to AJ Lee, The Rock, you know, these massive names. It doesn't necessarily have to be surprises of that scale, right? I think we will get plenty of surprises, but just bear in mind, some of those will be NXT talent. Some of those will be people that we just haven't seen in a little while, like Jade Cargill. That, you know, it'll be a moment, but will it be like screaming the house down type moment? Not for me. Although I will be very excited if Trick Williams is in there, because I am a Trick Williams fan. But there we go. That coming from Stephanie McMahon. So Yes10 said, what are your thoughts? Those are my thoughts. Triple H. So Triple H just wanting to share a few words after being obviously given the honour of going into the class of 2025. He said, I've been trying to come up with a way to say thank you for the immense honour that was announced yesterday. I have had the incredible pleasure of a 30-plus year of creating memories and moments, meeting lifelong friends, which I am rethinking both Undertaker and Shawn Michaels right now. And of course, the most incredible wife and mother, Stephanie McMahon, and the opportunity to entertain the best fans in the world. Thank you to everyone who has reached out. I appreciate the kind words and the well wishes. So there we go. Very much deserved. That is Sean Rossap just sharing a picture of what looks to be the Royal Rumble Superstore. Looks a bit sparse, doesn't it? I think it's really spread out, actually. But it does look like they could fit loads more racks in there. So it does feel a little bit sparse, but, you know, it is what it is. This has just done my head in, to be honest. I'm so over this. I don't think it's that exciting. I mean, I was joking yesterday when we were looking at Yeet Street. I was like, I hope like that was Yeet Street before, because if it was Jenkins Street and people are trying to find their way around, they don't stand a chance. But apparently there's loads that they've changed. We've got Cody Road. We've got Bianca Belair Boulevards. We've got Rhea Ripley Road, John Cena Way. So apparently there's loads. There's even a Wyatt 6 one. And they've changed loads of road names. I don't really understand why you would do it. To me, it's probably just going to cause carnage to the local area. But I don't know. People seem very excited by this news. So there we go. Perhaps we'll see more of it, like WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Don't know. Corey of Fightful said, Fightful selectors learnt that NXT Stand and Deliver is officially scheduled for WrestleMania Saturday afternoon, and it will take place from the T-Mobile Arena. So we've seen that before, where we watch NXT and then we go into WrestleMania Day 1. So it's going to come from the T-Mobile Arena. This is where UFC hold shows. I believe WWE have done shows in this building. Like, that is going to be a seriously big space for NXT to try and fill. So that is going to be a challenge. That is going to be an ask. They are going to have to stack this show. They're going to have to seriously think about how they're going to get 20-odd thousand people to attend this NXT show on the same day as WrestleMania. You're going to have to give people a real good offering. So just says to me that Stand and Deliver is going to be absolutely fire this year. Right, this is an image, right, of Fade said, when you arrive at Indianapolis airports, you can make your own personal fan sign that you can then take into the Royal Rumble. So this is coming courtesy of 10 Count Media. And so you can sit down, you can make your fan sign. There's even like a little card there, but there's a little map as well that kind of shows you around the local area. So yeah, this is when you arrive at the airport. Never seen anything like this before. So very, very interesting. So there's like the sign and there's the map. There's some free little card that you can have. It's pretty fun, that, isn't it? And here, look, Rob said, Dave, could Black appear in the Rumble? So Malakai Black, Aleister Black. And Dave said, I believe no. And I've heard something similar, that his contract is not going to allow him to appear in the Royal Rumble. So Dave is thinking not. And that was the exact same reason why I left him out of my predictions as well. But listen, honestly, never say never. Anything could happen. So there we go, WWE. Let's go TNA, shall we? Because there was a few bits in TNA. So basically, Wes Lee said he's looking to get the NXT championship. And he said to the Rascals, don't even think about trying to win the NXT tag titles, because it's going to be these guys that get those, Tyson and Tyreek. So that's basically what he was saying. And then I believe he was going to have a match with Ace Austin later in the show. So Master Taker, thank you. Cora Jade won her match against, is that the Hyan? Don't know who the Hyan is, but she managed to get a victory in that match. And obviously, she very much seems like she's on a collision course with Masha Slamovich. This was quite shocking. So Arianna Grace was talking and was then interrupted by Tessa Blanchard. Tessa interrupted and was being rude to Arianna Grace. Arianna Grace left the screen, and then Tessa just addressed the camera, basically saying, you know, I don't need to answer to anyone type thing, right? I mean, this was really shocking, because this was an NXT talent sharing the screen with Tessa Blanchard. And honestly, I didn't know if they would want to keep them apart. I didn't know. I mean, there was a bit here where Arianna Grace sticks her hand out and she's like, lovely to meet you. I am the liaison. I just want the best for both brands. And basically Tessa just heals it up, shoots her down. And that's it. She storms off, and then Tessa just addresses the camera. But I'm shocked to see a WWE NXT signed talent sharing the screen with Tessa. Then we had this. This was not the main event, but it was Wes's match against Ace Austin. And basically, we had Tyson, we had Tyreek. They would get involved. Rascals would get involved. Bottom line, during all the carnage, Wes Lee would hit the cardiac kick and would pick up the victory. So, really good night for NXT talents in ring. Cora Jade picking up a win, and Wes Lee picking up a win as well. So there we go. That was TNA. Let's go over to fun and work our way down here. This is pretty good. From Bayley and Big E.
Someone is asking about AJ Lee being in the Rumble. Do you have any thoughts that you would like to share to the internet and to the world?
Do you have any thoughts? That's your girl. Remember when you punched her in the chest?
Hey! We're trying to move on, okay? That was like 13 years ago. It was very embarrassing for me.
Little body.
I don't know.
Absorb that and keep going.
She just smiled like it was nothing.
She's the best.
I would love to see AJ Lee in the Rumble. I feel like the pop would be absurd.
So that's obviously a great moment from the past. That's where Big E was coming down. I think he was getting ready for a match and he was kind of doing this. But she was standing right next to him and he clobbered her in the chest. And he turned around, like, not realizing he'd, like, oh my God, I've just hit her. And she was fine. She just smiled back and carried on. But he really clocked her one. Totally by accident. So great to see that get brought up during today's Fanatics Live. At TJF 1983, shout out to you. So here, look, we've got these Knuckle Crunchers. 3-pack. I really like these. I remember when I did Wrestling Shop Live last time, I actually spent a couple of days with Bill, who's the kind of head designer for Mattel. And I was saying to him, I was like, have you ever thought about going back and doing some small figures again, right? And I'm certainly not saying this is because of that conversation. I'm sure they were working on these anyway, right? But I said, did you ever think about doing small figures again? Because the problem with the normal figures, they take up so much room. And, like, I would love to just, like, have this massive collection, but I am now running out of space. And his answer to me was, a true collector will always find space. That was his answer to me. And I was like, fair play, that's a great answer. But these Knuckle Crunchers, I think they're really interesting because they look, I mean, look at the faces on them. Look at, like, the detail on the attire. Look at the little belts as well. Plus, like, you know, you've got that weight belt for The Rock. You might even be able to get a Cody that comes with a weight belt. But if they're going to keep releasing these and classic ones and, you know, packs and everything, and plus also you get these accessories, you know, trash can, breakable table, even get a guitar, right? I mean, I think these are fun. I really do. Maybe more for kids, but I think they're really good. I'm a big fan of this series, but I don't need to start a brand new collection. But I do like them. So TJF, shout out to you. Yeah, I got tagged in this quite a bit. A Rhea Ripley lookalike contest. So $300+ in prizes. And there's Rhea Ripley. Look like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I mean, it is just pervs, just trying to get girls that look like Rhea Ripley to arrive and dress up as Rhea Ripley. But it is also very clever. And I am probably going to steal it. Mine will just be for Linda McMahon, though. I'll just do a Linda McMahon lookalike contest. But Kathy Kelly said, I'm going to start holding one of these at my house every time you get a new girlfriend. So, very good. This was fun. So, Stu Bennett, Wade Barrett, he said, I wish that Papa Shango's entrance music was guitar-based, because I'd offer to play him for his Royal Rumble appearance on Saturday. So, Wade Barrett's been playing guitar, putting it online, and here he is teasing that Papa Shango is going to be in the Rumble. I tell you what, he's going to feel really bad if Papa Shango is. If it turns out he is, people will have a go at him for sort of ruining the surprise, because I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever he's just put that out as a troll job, just like playing with the fans, not thinking Papa Shango will be in the Rumble. But if Papa Shango does end up being in the Rumble, I could imagine him going, oh God, I've dropped the ball on that a little bit. Because no one wants to ruin surprises. Of course they don't. So if he knew that, he would not be putting that out. Miss Clown, shout out to you. The Rock and Stone Cold have united for the first ever dual autograph cards. This is going to be worth so much money. You're talking about two of the biggest stars during one of the absolute hottest periods in wrestling history, and think about what they've both gone on to achieve. I mean, Austin might just be the biggest star in the history of WWE, and The Rock might be the most well-known. So could you imagine if you got that card, how much that card would be worth? Crazy, mate. Callum, shout out to you. So here's our truth. He said, well, I got 2 words for you. About time. Congratulations to Paul Triple H Levesque for his 2025 Hall of Fame induction. DX, are you ready? Cerebral Assassin, I am so proud of you. And there's a picture of Triple H that R-Truth has attached. So just a lovely message from R-Truth. Mark, shout out to you. So Roman is on the cover of WWE 2K25 and Mark has got this part-time edition. So there we go, part-time edition. Basically, when you get the game, you spend about 70% of it at home, just kind of raising kids and doing the school run and stuff like that. Only about 30% of it is you being at WrestleMania and actually having matches. That's the part-time edition. It's very exciting. And Tiffany, shout out to you. So this has come from Bianca's IG.
Yeah, you have new fans.
These boots, look at you. Is this Liberty or just Sky? That's Sky. That's dope. Sky is middle name? Is there an E in it or is it just SKY? That's the right way. Good. Nice.
Huh?
Yeah. You got a
Yeah. Can I take a picture with Cody? Yeah, you.
So these are Bianca's nieces and nephews. So this is part of Bianca's family that are backstage meeting Cody Rhodes. How cool is that? How cool is that? So just a lovely little kind of glimpse there. This coming from Bianca's Instagram accounts. Okay, let's go other, shall we? Booker T said we're not cool at all in regards to Corey Graves. He said he really disagreed with Corey kind of airing his dirty laundry in public. And he says, I haven't spoke to him about it, but we're not cool at all. A lot of people are saying it's just a work. He's not really down with Corey. Like, he's just causing a bit of a talking point, getting a bit of buzz. I don't know. I don't know. But that's what he said. He said we're not cool at all. Believe it if you want. It's up to you. Aaron, shout out to you. So here we go. This is what it was. So that poster of them being face to face, it was all to launch their reality series that's going to start on March 27th. So I said this, I think, during the member stream. And that was, you should really have a look and see who was telling you this was going to be a boxing match when there was no word that this was going to be a boxing match. There was no evidence of this being a boxing match apart from a very suggestive poster that did not mention boxing anywhere. There was no boxing gloves. You can see now with your own eyes who jumps to conclusions, who doesn't look at facts, who just goes with, you know, their gut feeling of, oh, this must be this, right? And honestly, there was plenty of people that fell for it. So I would say have a look because it's a real good indicator as to who does their checks and who actually really does kind of look at the facts and who just jumps to conclusions. Corey said, did you see this? Former WWE superstar Veer Mahan is now a Hindu monk. So, yeah, apparently he has got rid of a load of his belongings and he is now a Hindu monk. Apparently he's been telling them that he's coming and he's on his way, but he has been doing that for about 6 months. So they're still waiting for him to arrive. But he'll get there eventually. And, yeah, crazy change of life that he's gone through there. Karrion said this was the presentation, right, that I sent to creative upon being hired by WWE and NXT 5 years ago. It's the best decision I ever made in our careers was to be here. So Ewan, shout out to you. So this is, I find it to be a little bit slow. I find it to be a little bit, well, it's a tease. You don't really get much from it. It just kind of, you know, you can see the kind of words that are on screen. And this is basically what they gave to creative so that creative knew what kind of thing, how to pitch them, how to use them, what kind of thing Karrion and Scarlett were thinking about for their own characters. And really, it's just, you can see a lot of it is dark with Karrion talking. And then we've just got this like TikTok thing at the end. So kind of mysterious, kind of very dark, not loads getting given away. But I just thought it was kind of interesting to see what they had presented 5 years ago to WWE Creative. Right, we're back, season 6, Dark Side of the Ring. So it's Kaz81. Shout out to you. What I want is this. Boom. These are the 10 episodes for Dark Side of the Ring for season 6. Starts on March 25th. So Hell in a Cell, Big Van Vader, Tony Atlas, Ludwig Borger, which I think is going to be really good, Billy Jack Hayes, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Superstar Billy Graham, Daphne, the original Sheik, and Mohammed Hassan. I feel like Daphne, Billy Jack Hayes, maybe Tony Atlas, not so sure, but certainly a couple there feel like things have happened fairly recently that has included them into this series. Hell in a Cell feels a bit of a stretch to include for a Dark Side of the Ring, but I suppose they could catch up with Mick Foley and see the long-lasting effects of Hell in a Cell. And yeah, I mean, look, honestly, a lot of these topics look really interesting. The one that grabs me the most is Ludwig Borger. I always thought of him as being a bit Brock Lesnar-esque, like just a wrecking ball, someone that would come in and, like, you know, had a bit of size, had a bit of muscle, and I believe actually did go into MMA after being in pro wrestling, after being in WWF. So he is someone that I would love to watch an episode on. I don't believe he was a great guy. I'm not saying he was a great guy. I'm just saying he's someone I would love to learn some more about. So I actually think that's a pretty good lineup, actually. And Matt Hardy said this Friday and Saturday, the Hardy Boys are coming to WrestleCon over Royal Rumble weekend. We hope to see you there. So there we go. Those are the Hardys. They will be around. I wonder if they'll be appearing in the Rumble itself. Opala's Travels, shout out to you. Chelsea liked my poster that I made of her and Matt. I am so happy. Opala's Travels, well done, buds. Samir, shout out to you. Got a like from Karrion Kross. Well done. Jay Suggs was actually at the Superstore. So there, look, a lot of people talking about the fact Penta had already made it onto posters and pictures, but he's actually at the Superstore. And here, look, you can see that looks like Fanatics Live. We just saw Bayley doing one of those. Well, it looks like Chelsea was there at the time that Jay Suggs was actually at the store. So Jay Suggs, I hope you have a great time, dude. Robin said, got a retweet and a like from R-Truth. So well done, Robin. Duke's Wrestling managed to get a like and a retweet from R-Truth as well. I think R-Truth is very, very active on social media. Like this here, look, Kapata got a like from R-Truth as well. Seems like R-Truth was very busy today. TJF 1983 actually found a PDF of that adventure game. So we looked at this a couple of days ago. It's old. It's from 1994, I believe. And it is, we don't quite know. It's some sort of game that has, I don't know, it's a book that you read through and you have dice and you somehow play this game. Well, we don't need to guess because this is a free link to it. I'm not saying it's the right side of legal, but I am saying it's there and it's available. And you can click on that and then download each page. And so you would have it then. I mean, I don't think they're going to be too bothered about this. That was from 1994 that they don't sell anymore, you know? But I've retweeted it, and you can click that, and you can actually download the book now. Hieronymus Drake brought it to our attention, and he was like, I certainly wasn't expecting this level of interest when I shared that original post. Yeah, it's awesome. I've never seen this before. I think it's brilliant, so I'm really looking forward to having a look into it, to be honest. And Scaleman said, RPGs reached their pinnacle with WWE Know Your Role. I actually own this book, as well as the earlier WWF Basic Adventure game, but I've never played either of them, so there was another one as well. This one, a little more recent. To be honest with you, that one probably grabs me more, because that's going to be more the era I love, 93, 94, coming out of Golden Era, more so than this era. But yeah, just know these are out there. And Hieronymus Drake said, look, here's a more recent one. So brilliant. Yeah, I think that'll be of interest to people. I've retweeted it, or you can go to 1983 TJF. And BK Wrestling said, here's some stories about me meeting wrestlers. I really like this. So I grew up in a fairly small town. We never had money to go to wrestling events. My first wrestling event was WrestleMania 38. But 20 years ago, Ted DiBiase came and spoke to my church youth group, and Stone Cold did a book signing at my local Walmart. This was big for a small town, and they were free events. So I met both of them when I was young. Ted DiBiase was one of my dad's favorite wrestlers. I got an autograph made out to him. My dad has since passed, and I thought this autograph was lost forever. But I was going through my parents' old storage unit, and I can't believe I actually found it, let alone in fairly decent condition. I will treasure this forever. I remember meeting Stone Cold like it was yesterday. There must have been a few thousand people there, but I was number 127 in line. The cover of my book is a little torn in places, and the lady snapped the picture before I was even looking. But this is one of my most treasured possessions, cherished possessions. Stone Cold is my favorite wrestler of all time. So this moment, along with finally seeing him wrestle in person at WrestleMania 38, very special to me. That is great condition. That is great. And it's the old school kind of 8x10 thing, which looks brilliant. So that's amazing. And look at that lovely big signature from Stone Cold's. I do love the community folder. And obviously it's great to celebrate likes and retweets and whatever, but it is lovely when we get something a bit different in there as well. Like the fact that in here we've got this great story and some great images, but we've also got a link to that basic adventure book for you to download if you so desire. So I think there's real value in the community folder. So excellent. Love that. And all that's left to do is thanks. So, Milo, you boomers know what to do. Shout out to you, buds. Ajax, shout out to you, my friend. Babs the Barbarian, thank you. WWE Ethan, thank you. Megan Hall, appreciate it. And of course, prayers for Asuka. She really seems to be struggling at the moment. No real update on that. Wrestling's biggest fan, shout out to you. Sweet Chin Wrestling, shout out to you. Johnny, shout out to you, was the one that tagged me in that. Hieronymus Drake, thank you, my friend. Ashma, thank you. I am the colour red. Shout out to you. Football 24085, thank you, my friend. DMB Riley tagging me in the hardest news. Chris, shout out to you, buds. Retweeting a couple of bits, including Unseen. Lynette, shout out to you. So Christopher, Lynette, and Emmanuel, shout out to you, buds. It's Kaz81, thank you, my friends. Wild Child Billy, thank you. Oliver, thank you. Robin, appreciate it, bud. Kelly the Wise Lady, thank you. Duke's Wrestling, appreciate the support. Tony, thank you, my friend. And Raymond, shout out to you. And then, of course, we do have a second one. There's been another retweet for the Royal Rumble predictions by Casper. And really appreciate that as well. Of course, Royal Rumble this weekend. We will be live, and we will be live hours before it begins. So there we go. That was today's Unseen. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate the support as always. See you again next time. Bye for now.